let's do this. Does the e-file also scare you? It really scares me. Today we are going to take off these lovely gel nails here. I did a ombre using eyeshadow and just didn't cap it properly, so I've got some chipping going on, and we are going to remove them. So I've got my mandrel bit with an 80 grit file. I don't know if you can see that. 80 grit, and we are going to remove it. Normally I use other bits, but I wanted to give this a try to see if this actually works and works better at removing it. What I've got on here is a layer of top coat, I've got gel polish, and I've got, like I said, some ombre. I used eyeshadow for it, and I've got builder gel. I don't actually know if this builder gel is Soak Off. It's Savalan. Let me see if I can show you. It's this stuff. The Amazon posting says both Soak Off and only Drill Off, so it's kind of a mystery. I haven't tried soaking it off just because that takes a long time, so we are going to try it with the drill and see how it goes. So to do this, you're going to need a few things. Obviously you need an e-file or a drill or whatever you want to call it. This is Beloving. This is from Amazon. It was, I want to say, under 50 bucks. I would recommend getting a brand name or a more upscale drill, but at this time I am sticking with this guy. It makes a lot of noise. I think mainly because I was mixing acrylic powders and some pigment powders and used this drill, and I think some of the powder got in here, so it makes a lot of noise. That's on me, not on the drill. You're gonna need some bits. Right now I'm using the mandrel bit. I've got this set of 80, 120, and 180 grit bands. So we're going to start off with 80 grit and see how that does at taking off the bulk of this. You're going to need a dust collector. This, you'll notice a theme here, I like to cheap out. So this is a dust collector from, I think, Shein. Again, under 50 bucks. It does not, it's going to sound dirty, it does not suck great. It sucks okay. Dirty joke. But yeah, I would recommend getting a better one. I've seen those ones where they kind of have an ad and they press it up against the wall and it like stays there because the suction's so good. So I definitely recommend getting one of those. You're also going to need a mask just to make sure you're not inhaling, you know, nail dust. I'd rather eat my lunch than inhale it. So I've got that. You're also maybe would be better off with some like goggles or glasses if you have them. I do find I sometimes get the dust in my eyes, so if you've got glasses, definitely recommend those. And this is what my e-file looks like. So it comes in two pieces. It's rechargeable. You can wear it on your side. It's also got I think a UV light on here. It's actually kind of neat. And then just this and the switch to turn it on and off. See, yeah, it's making quite a lot of noise. And then on the side here, you can switch between forward and reverse. And I think that's all you're gonna need. Oh, you might want some wipes. So I've got some lint-free wipes. Just put some alcohol on it or acetone, whatever, because you're going to get a lot of dust. Again, this thing's not great, so you're going to get a lot of dust building up. So you might want this to just kind of like wipe it off as you go so you can see better. But let's go ahead and get started. This next part has been sped up. I am definitely not this fast. So a little bit of a disclaimer. I am not a pro, I'm not licensed, I'm not even seasoned. If this was a multiple choice question, I would be none of the above. I'm just trying things out as I go on myself. So I'd just like to share some tips that I found along the way, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes. Actually, I'm considering going and getting my nail tech certification. I'm in Canada and it's all province dependent. The province I'm in is kind of the Wild West, so you don't really need one. I don't think they're actually checking, but if you work in a salon, you definitely don't need it. But if you own a salon or if you're independent, I think you might. You also will need it if you want to shop the wholesale stores. Before I spend the time and, more importantly, the money on a certification for becoming a nail tech, I was thinking of kind of trialing it, if that's the right word. I did a little bit of running around checking out different
I guess people call them chop shops. I don't know if that's appropriate, but I was checking out some local salons, and not a great response rate on hiring or taking on someone who's a noob. So it looks like I might have to bootleg this myself if I do go this route. So I do have friends and family that are willing to be my sacrificial lambs and let me practice on them. I did actually this past weekend practice on a friend, and it took an embarrassingly long amount of time to sculpt some nails from scratch and to design them. So yeah, I definitely need some practice. So if you are a nail tech, or you're just someone who does friends and family on the side, how did you get started? Like, did you start in a salon? Did you bootleg it? Did you hustle? I gotta know, because I feel like my options around where I live are pretty limited unless I do it myself. I am considering offering model sets. I'm not actually sure if that's the right term or not, but I've seen people post on like Facebook, like new nail techs post, and basically they say either free sets or they're extremely reduced just to cover the supply cost, and that way they get people to come in, they can practice on them, get better. In the end, they may keep a couple clients, but chances are if those people are looking for a free set of nails, they're not going to be your clients in the future. But either way, you get some practice out of it. The only problem is space. I live in a 1-bedroom and a den, and my den is currently filled up to the brim right now with my other Etsy side business stuff. So I'd have to do some rearranging in here, and the lighting in here is horrendous. So I would have to figure that all out too. Basically, I have to figure out if it's worth it for me. If you've gone down the nail tech route, let me know if it's worth it. I am of an age, we'll say, and it would basically be like starting over, and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also pretty excited. I'm not good yet, but I would like to be, and I feel like nails are something that you build upon. I don't really think anyone comes out of the womb being able to do a killer acrylic set. I definitely think that's something that takes time and effort into learning to get better and get more skilled at. Anyways, let me know, is the nail tech career path worth it? Was it worth it to you? Do you love what you do? I just really want to basically love what I do.
Alright, I don't know if you guys can see that. It probably looks pretty scary. The reason it looks so scary and patchy is because I'm scared to go down to the actual natural nail. And this is an 80 grit sanding band, so definitely not meant for your natural nails. So this is why it looks patchy. I've got a layer left of builder gel on there. Around the cuticle, I may have scratched a little bit of my natural nail. It's kind of hard to tell. This is why I like to use colored builder gel versus the clear builder gel. I cannot see with the clear stuff how close I've gotten. This is the nude, but it's still hard. So, and I don't need glasses for up close, so that's not the reason. It's just like I'm not trained for one, and it looks pretty close to me, but it looks like I may have filed down some of my natural nails. So you gotta be careful with this. Overall, actually, this one did work pretty well at taking off the builder gel. I did find with this bit, I didn't get as much buildup of dust. I don't know what that means. When I was using just a regular like safety bit, it really built up along the edges and made it hard. I had to have to stop and like wipe off the dust so I could see what I'm doing. But with this, I don't know if it's just the coarseness of it or what, because I use the same direction. I'm right-handed, so I put it in reverse, which seems weird. You should put it in forward, but that's if you're working on someone else. I was pushing away from myself, so I found it easier to use the reverse motion. I think when you're doing someone else, you're using forward because you're going this way, but I'm pushing away from myself, so that's why I find reverse easier when I'm using it on myself. I don't know if that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know down below if that's the way it works for when you're working on yourself. But either way, we're going to actually use this for the rest of the nails. As you can see, the bit has definitely got some builder gel stuck in there. We'll see if that works for the rest or if I have to stop halfway through and put on a new one, but we'll see. That's actually, let's see. Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's still some builder gel on there, but you know what? I'm okay with that because I don't want to risk doing any damage to the natural nail because I'm a chicken. And if we take this hand off, you'll see when I first started, I put way too much pressure down and I have a divot in this nail. It's near the free edge, so it's going to be growing out soon, hopefully. Hopefully it hasn't done some damage, but we'll see. The best piece of advice I've ever gotten off of YouTube, actually, when I was learning how to use the e-file, it was just all confusing. It was too much. The best piece of advice I ever heard was don't push down. Don't put any pressure down. Literally just rest it on top of your nail and let the drill bit do the work. And to not use it at a low speed. I know it's tempting. I did it at the beginning too and it would skip a lot. So actually what they recommend is using I use 15,000 RPMs to take this off. That's what I was using. And I don't push down. I just let it sit and let the drill do the work. So I don't actually put any pressure down on it. So hopefully that helps you out. But we're going to continue on to the rest of these nails and see how it goes. Alright, so these guys are looking a little rough, not gonna lie. I didn't go down as far on these ones. I feel like I learned my lesson with these two. I may have scraped up my natural nail plate on this, so be very careful. I definitely recommend keeping an eye, very close eye, keeping your fingers close to you. It's kind of hard to do when you're filming, but hopefully you're not filming when you're doing this the first time. But we're going to take a buffer to this and see if that helps. That kind of cleared up a little bit of where I am. So as you can see, there are definitely some spots where there's builder gel and where there's my natural nail. So it doesn't look like I scraped off too much of my natural nail. As soon as I see that builder gel kind of wane, you start seeing little ripples, I guess, or little bubbles of where the builder gel kind of flicks off, and then you've got your natural nail. So when you start seeing that, do not focus on that area. Stop going over that area and just go over the areas that you see that there's still builder gel on. So we're gonna try these ones. Alright, so they're looking a little rough, but I don't think I did too much damage. As soon as I see those pockets start to form of where there's no builder gel, I stopped. So there's a little bit of scratchies in there, but no actual damage down on the natural nail. So actually, my verdict on using this mandrel with the 80 grit is actually pretty good. It took it off in, I'd say, about the same amount of time as the other safety bits and the actual metal bits. So honestly, if you're doing clients, this is really easy because you just have to, replace this between clients. I mean, obviously you need to clean the mandrel bit and the drill as well, but it would be easier cleanup for sure. And yeah, I actually didn't mind using this to remove the nails. I'd say if you are doing this, I'd recommend doing more like this nails where you left a little bit of a layer on there. So this isn't going to be too bad for putting on more, because I am going to put on another set of nails after this. The only thing I see this affecting is tip application, because what I want to do next is tips with builder gel. So what I might do is go in a little bit more and sand off a tiny bit more of this nail here, kind of like to match this one. And yeah, I think I did pretty decent. There is still some stuff on here again, so I'm just too chicken to go down. And I mean, if you're going to be redoing your nails, this would be different if you were completely removing it and they weren't putting anything on after. That would be a different story. Don't ask me how to do that just yet. I am learning. But for this scenario where I'm going to be putting nails back on, honestly, I think this is fine. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned a few things. If not, well, hopefully you were entertained with a little bit of my scratchiness here. But yeah, hopefully in the next video we'll do a tip video with builder gel. Hopefully that's the next one that comes out. I would recommend subscribing, you know, shameless plug, because I can't really commit to a certain schedule right now. I do have things outside of YouTube, obviously, and I'm sure you guys all have the same thing. Everyone's busy right now. So just make sure you subscribe so you'll catch up on the next video. I'm kind of hoping to do a little bit of a series here where I test out different methods of nails, basically me teaching myself how to do stuff. Hopefully you learn something along the way with my mistakes, and also I'm hoping that people who are more advanced than me comment down below with little tidbits and tricks or corrections so that we can all learn. Alright, that is all guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye!